Welcome back to another episode of DevOps Talks with Krishna. What is infrastructure as code? What is configuration management? In my last episode, I've given you an intro to the 5 fundamentals of DevOps. If you missed it, make sure to find the link below in the description and catch up. Today, I'm going to dive deeper into IAC. So get comfortable, pay attention, and join me in navigating through some new terminologies. So IAC, as in infrastructure as code and configuration management, are very interesting and very important concepts to understand even before you apply for a DevOps role anywhere. One of the core responsibilities of a DevOps engineer is to manage infrastructure. But what is infrastructure? Let me explain you this by giving an example of one of your favorite, most visited websites. You got it right? Amazon. So, Amazon's business runs on the website you see today. But the website to run, it also needs an underlying infrastructure that has to be hosted somewhere and constantly maintained. The DevOps engineers are the ones supporting this. The maintenance of this infrastructure has evolved over the years. Traditionally, to run a website, this is the process for a system administrator. Historically, servers were physical bare metal devices hosted in racks in data centers. These servers were kept on-premise or with the service provider. Then they had to configure hardware and then configure software required for the application to run, and then install application. This process undoubtedly had its own challenges in regards to one, cost. It was very expensive. Many professionals were hired to manage these servers, which included a lot of overhead. Scalability. If we needed like 5 more of the same server, it was very hard to scale as the same process had to be repeated again for all these servers. Monitoring. Availability. If there are any issues with these servers and if there were no backup servers, it took a long time to recover. Overall, this entire process was very tedious and slow. Fast forward, cloud computing is the future. And as more people moved to cloud infrastructure, it was almost impossible to manage infrastructure manually. I'll deep dive more into cloud computing in my future episode, so let's stay focused and come back to IAC for now. In simple words, infrastructure as code is a concept of managing infrastructure with code instead of doing so manually. But why manage infrastructure with code? Because it is extremely effective at scale. More on that in a moment. When we use IAC, it involves managing, configuring, and provisioning infrastructure requirements like networking, servers, and load balancers, just to name a few. This is done using machine-readable files rather than physical hardware or console access. This allows us to manage more infrastructure at once. Remember that scale I was just talking about? Let's take a quick example. A sysadmin has to set up a new server and configure it by hand. He's been given the specs and completes the job in approximately 30 minutes. Now let's say the same system administrator is given a larger requirement to set up 100 servers or 1,000. Manually, he doesn't stand a chance to do so in this 30-minute window. What do you propose he should do? Invite friends to help him? How about IAC instead? IAC solves almost all challenges I have mentioned before, including the pesky problem of scaling. It cuts costs with man-hours spent as well as engineers needed to perform the job. It remarkably is good for scalability. Write code for one server infrastructure and use it repeatedly for the same requirements, effectively multi-threading the system admin in the aforementioned example. Availability. You can immediately launch a new instance with code in case of any issues, making any production website or application more reliable. Overall, the environment is maintained in a desired state of code and improves efficiency and consistency. Here are some IAC tools and programs that helps in coding the infrastructure. AWS CloudFormation, Terraform, Ansible, Chef, Puppet. IAC will help solve real-world system administrator problems and simplify large-scale configuration management. And these real-world applicable use cases will benefit you and the organizations you're looking to partner in future. Now that you see some practical benefits of IAC, I would encourage you to go out and take a tutorial on the subject. I personally prefer TF, Terraform, because it's easy to read and works very well with AWS. Don't take my word for it. I would ask you to go and try out yourself. Go talk to your DevOps or infrastructure team and find out where are you hosted today. And do you use IAC? Leave a comment below on what you have chosen and why. If you have any questions, drop me a DM or post in the comments. I'll be happy to help you towards your DevOps journey. Today's DevOps quote for you is, if you're going to operate reliably, you need to make it reproducible and programmatic. Thanks for watching.